All right, so we have our final team, Team Olmeca.
Perfect. Oh man, this is loud, sorry. Could everyone actually just close your eyes really quickly here? In just a moment, I'm gonna share a phrase with you all, and I want you to just think to yourself, what's the first word that comes to mind when you think of this phrase? Here we go, here's the phrase. Personal Protective Equipment, PPE. All right, everyone open your eyes. Perfect, awesome. So for many, I know the first word that comes to mind is safety, maybe COVID-19 protection, something along that line. But I can guarantee that there's one person in this room who didn't think of the word sustainability. Sustainability. Now, sustainability is so important in today's organization. Better yet, industries in PPE are still struggling to be more sustainable today. But it's companies like Emma who are able to revolutionize this PPE industry and make PPE something that's not just known for making people safe, but also making our environment safe. Perfect. So, in order to be a competitor in the market, you need to stand out. You need to be able to differentiate yourself. And so we developed 3 key recommendations. And you look up here on the screen that the first one is EquipMe, the second one is Remma, and the third is blockchain. In terms of EquipMe, EquipMe is a platform that is a one-stop shop for businesses to go to and actually purchase all of their PPE equipment that is customized to them utilizing AI. Our second is Remma. Remma is a platform that allows businesses to actually have a more convenient means of recycling their safety shoes. And finally, blockchain. We want to utilize blockchain to actually go towards our 2 first recommendations, but also to keep track of all the analytics and the financials that are important as well. So hi, my name is Andrew, and I'm joined here with my colleagues from Team Olmeca, and we are so excited to share our strategy with you. So we begin with a brief analysis, dive deeper within our strategy, talk about our implementation and financials, and finally end with future implications. Let's begin with our analysis. So we created this pestle analysis to better gauge what our market for PPE looks like. And there's 2 in particular that I want to point out. The first one is our social sphere. And you'll see here on our social sphere that 1 out of 5 businesses actually prefer customization. And in terms of our environment, we found that 90% of our businesses are struggling to make their supply chains sustainable all in all. And so these were 2 key things that we wanted to consider when recommending a solution together. So where is Emma in terms of our competitive landscape? And you'll see here on the top right that Emma is actually a little higher of quality, but it's not very differentiated from the multitude of competitors that are in the industry. And so we want to find a way to actually differentiate ourselves from all the other competitors in the market today. So how do we do that? We created an alternatives evaluation matrix and considered the 6 criteria you'll see here on the left side. In EquipMe, our solution scored the highest, and we believe this is the way Emma could take to differentiate itself in the market. Now I'm going to hand it over to Josephine, who's going to talk a little bit more about our strategy.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. All right, let's get into the strategy. So we propose an eco strategy. E for evolving through EquipMe, C for collecting products for Remma, and then O for optimizing our model with blockchain. Starting off with evolving through EquipMe, this is important because it allows Emma to have the ability to work directly with end users and create differentiation within the market. But what exactly is EquipMe? EquipMe is a one-stop shop for all of companies to be able to source PPE. Here, my team and I have created sort of a mock-up for you to look at, and this is what our end users would actually be able to see. It's going to be a website that enables companies to source compatible PPE products, and we're going to start off by targeting our key industries: construction, manufacturing, and chemical PPE. So here's the second page that our customers would be able to see. Now what this is a page where users can input company information and PPE preferences. On this page, companies can input information such as choosing their industry, selecting their budget, as well as selecting the different kind of protection they will need. There's also going to be a chatbot available for additional assistance. Then, utilizing AI, artificial intelligence, EquipMe is able to provide customers with personalized PPE recommendations that are viewed on this digital avatar. Then, consumers are able to actually go and kind of select between the different kinds of PPE and then view their different stats, as well as an overall sustainability rating, so that our customers can make sure that they're getting the most sustainable PPE. But how exactly are we going to be able to find these partners for EquipMe? As you know, Emma is currently a safety shoe company, but what about the rest of the PPE? Well, Emma should utilize our marketing, resources, and Salesforce team in order to kind of find our different suppliers. When finding these PPE partners, we want to make sure that they're all sustainable. So we suggest that Emma evaluates each of these different companies based on sustainability practices. One way to do this is to utilize the EcoVadis scorecard, which is a company that is able to really quantify how sustainable and how ethical companies' supply chains are. And then from there, Emma can utilize that data and information in order to create the ABCX product categorization so that we can show our customers how sustainable our suppliers are and our partners. Here is a list that my team and I have created for the different sort of partnerships that we can use. Now, this is based on research for our most sustainable suppliers. But how exactly would the EquipMe business model work? Well, companies would start off by purchasing PPE from the EquipMe platform. Then, EquipMe would send over this information to our PPE partners, who would actually be the ones who fulfill these orders and send them directly to the companies. Now, onto kind of how it would work financially. So companies would purchase PPE from EquipMe, and then EquipMe would be able to keep a commission of 25% of these profits, and then send the rest off to our PPE partners. Now, you're probably thinking, this is a huge margin just for a supplier. Well, currently, our PPE partners are paying their dealers 33% commissions. So this would actually be able to help our PPE partners have a direct connection to these companies, and so they would be saving money in the long run. Now, with EquipMe, it's really important to include artificial intelligence. We suggest that EquipMe uses Google Recommendations AI to provide that personalized PPE recommendations, as well as a customer support chatbot to guide customers through customization and the purchasing processes. This is super important because AI can boost profitability by 38% in just 15 years. So it's super important that we integrate AI. But why exactly are companies incentivized to partner with EquipMe? Well, EquipMe will help companies reduce the number of employees' injuries and accidents. It will help reduce time spent sourcing compatible PPE, and it will reduce employee fear and dissatisfaction. This is really important because if PPE does not fit properly, it can make the difference between being safely covered or dangerously exposed. And then what are the benefits for Emma? Well, financially, we're going to see an increase in conversion rates by 15% from this customization. It's also going to fit our vision as Emma because it will be a collective sustainability effort with PPE companies that's really going to help us make the world a greener place. And then finally, it's going to help us beat out competition and really differentiate ourselves because we will have that first mover advantage. So here's the key takeaway. EquipMe will allow businesses to directly purchase compatible PPE products, increasing revenue and customers for Emma. Now, I will be passing it off to Natalia to discuss the rest of the solution.
Thanks, Josephine. Now, let's move on to the second part of our strategy, which is to collect products for Bremma. Now, you might be wondering why we decided to pursue this strategy. And the main reason is that it will allow us to create a business model that actually compensates for the additional costs involved with producing and selling a circular shoe. Now, Emma currently has a recycling program, and it works as follows. Companies drop off their used shoes at different collection points, and then from there they are shipped to a facility where they're recycled and manufactured into new materials that can be reincorporated into the production process. While this process does facilitate a circular economy, it has a limitation that not many of Emma's customers are actively participating in the program. This is likely due to the limited number of collection spots, the fact that it takes additional effort and time to actually reach these collection spots, and also the fact that there's no added benefit to use this recycling service compared to other waste management services. After conducting some industry research, we actually found that convenience is a big factor in determining how likely people are to recycle. Therefore, with this in mind, we created REMA, an update to our current recycling service that makes it more beneficial and convenient for businesses to recycle their products. Now, this is how it will work. First, with REMA, businesses can opt into the program, and by doing so, they will receive a shipping label. This program will cost $80, but with this, they will be able to directly ship the recycled shoes to one of the recycling facilities. No collection sites are needed. With this, we really think it will be beneficial for the companies in various ways. First, for every shoe, they will receive one free shoe for every 25 that they recycle, giving them cost savings. Additionally, it will be more convenient as, again, they do not have to attend or be close to a collection spot. And lastly, it will allow them to have a positive sustainability impact with something, waste disposal, an activity that companies already have to pay for and conduct on a regular basis. So why not make it sustainable? It will also produce various benefits for Emma. It will allow them to decrease their manufacturing costs as they will have excess recycled materials due to the increased volume of donations. Additionally, it will allow the company to really facilitate their circular supply chain process. Now, the main takeaway is that REMA will make it more convenient for businesses to recycle their products, but also increase the profitability of the circular model. Now let's talk about our third and final strategy, optimizing with blockchain. Now, this strategy will really help Emma take their circular supply chain to the next level, ensuring that it is managed properly. Now, you might be wondering why we chose blockchain, and we chose it due to its various capabilities. First, it really facilitates the information as it serves as one source of truth for different records and transactions. Additionally, this blockchain system will facilitate smart contracts, which will reduce the need for repetitive processes and increase automation. We also believe that these capabilities will really enhance every single part of Emma's business model. First, with EquipMe, it will ensure real-time tracking. This will be especially critical since there's a variety of different transactions, payments, and orders that are transferring between many different users, and we want to make sure those are accurate and efficient. Additionally, for Emma, we will be able to ensure that the process is automated, is efficient, and also really promoting the circular economy. And lastly, for Emma overall, it will make the business more efficient, which will allow the company to allocate resources to other industries within the company, like marketing and innovation. And lastly, blockchain will also increase the sustainability impact of Emma. It will reduce the company's carbon footprint, and it will also ensure, again, that the circular supply chain is only more efficient. The main takeaway is that blockchain will really support all of Emma's sustainability initiatives and processes, only making the company more sustainable. Now I will hand it off to Maida to talk about implementation.
Thank you, Natalia. So now we'll be talking about implementation. So we wanted to track 3 KPIs, key performance indicators, while doing this project. The first one is the number of shoes sold, the second is the number of customers, and the third is the number of users, REMA users. For the number of shoes sold, we almost double it to around 560,000. With the number of customers, we go from around 12,000 to 19,000, and the number of REMA users goes from 0 since the platform hasn't launched in 2020 to about 10,000 in 2030. Additionally, we did a financial analysis using NPV, ROI, and payback period. We used a WACC of approximately 4.75% in order to use the construction supply average. Additionally, we used a 4.76% CAGR from 2020 to 2030. The overall NPV for the project was 7.6 million euros with a ROI of 26% and a payback period by 2026. Additionally, we performed an implementation timeline. As you can see here, we will hire EquipMe talent in 2021 and then launch in 2023. With REMA, we will build REMA in 2021 and 2025 and then have a marketing campaign and launch in 2026. And then finally, with blockchain, we will hire a blockchain team currently so we can build it next year, and then 2023 we will launch it. Additionally, we identified a few risks and mitigation strategies. The first risk is the failure to adapt with EquipMe. In order to mitigate this, we proposed targeting the top 3 industries. We additionally did 2 other risk and mitigations, and they are not as important. Finally, we had a few scalability projects. The first with EquipMe is to include other industries in the future. So this is attacking other industries such as healthcare that we haven't attacked yet. With Remma, we will expand into different products and accept them in recycling. And finally, with Emma, we would like to become fully circular in the future. So now that you've heard our eco strategy, we hope the next time that you hear the word PPE, you think of sustainability. Thank you.
All right, awesome. We'd like to now open up the floor to any questions.
Yes, fantastic presentation. There was a quote that said AI, that you had on the slide. AI costs will increase profitability by 35%. I think I might be butchering that. But do you guys remember that slide? Can you go back to it?
Yes, that was a fact that was directly taken from Accenture's website.
And can you provide a little more color as to
Yeah.
how you would be suggesting Emma implements that? There's an I, maybe it's a little up there.
Yeah, awesome. Maida, do you want to talk about the cost-saving aspect of AI?
Yeah. So I can talk about that. So that's when we were talking about the 15 years in the future, we were thinking when AI is more developed. Currently, we didn't use that for our financials as we don't believe that is the number, but we do see that potential in the next 15 years. Currently for our AI, we used a lower rate of 15%. Instead of the 38%, we believe that's a good assumption of how much we'll be saving through this form and how much we'll be making. But we do see the potential of 38% in the next 15 years, as Accenture said in the article.
Thank you.
Great presentation. Going back to the slide on the suppliers. Now, are those based on, those suppliers are already EcoVadis certified?
We actually did research to find suppliers who are both sustainable and are qualified in that, but also are located in the EU, because that was something that was important for us to consider as well. So we did do a research, and all of these companies that are listed here we did individual research for all of them.
Good, that was my question, is how close are they to the Emma plant?
Yeah, they are very under the same boat as them right now.
Perfect. And then on the EcoVadis program that you want to put, what is the cost for that, and what's your strategy as far as absorbing that cost or doing partnership with your suppliers?
Yeah, for sure. So actually, we will not be taking on that cost for EcoVadis ratings. We're going to require the companies that partners to do that themselves. We believe that this is a fair financial, just because they will be getting a discount from the 33% to the 25%. So they're already saving 8% by partnering with us. So we believe that the EcoVadis cost will not be that significant for them, since it's already only under $1,000 just to get it for themselves. So the profit they'll be making is a lot more essential.
Can you go back to the original slide for EquipMe and just go over the actual users of EquipMe, kind of expand on that?
Yeah. So just for a clarifying question, do you want me to kind of go over the user experience with you?
No, just more about who's actually using the website.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so basically when we say like our consumers, and this is a consumer interface, it's actually going to be businesses that are looking to purchase PPE. So for example, let's say construction. So it would be the managers of the construction workers, when they're going to buy PPE for people on their sites, they're able to use this EquipMe website, and they're actually able to purchase all the PPE that they would need in one place, rather than going ahead and sourcing from a bunch of different PPE companies. I know it was mentioned also in the case as well that one of the biggest problems is that a lot of companies are getting PPE from like different sources. They're not all sourcing it from one place. So this just makes it very easy for them, and also really expands on them being able to compare the different kinds.
So it's not necessarily a construction worker who's wearing the shoes is going to the website versus they are, they're not?
No. They are able to do that still through the kind of like old format that Emma has been using, so they can purchase it from a dealer or off the website. We're not going to make this a complete transition. This is more supply me, and then it's like powered by Emma. So this is a website, it's a platform that's specifically for companies.
It's basically for the person doing the procurement.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Same slide, as far as what is the implementation timeframe for that website and, you know, startup costs, but tying into that, the like database, are you know, do you already have database that you can market to right off the bat to do a campaign of that website when you're launching it?
Yeah, so actually we can go to the financial slide. Yeah, that's perfect. So the way we did it was we started with the implementation timeline. We'll start building it in 2022. During this time, we're going to work with Google AI recommendations to get that data since we don't have it currently. Since we work mostly through the dealer right now, we don't have that much connection with the end user. So we're going to take next year to understand the data and work with Google AI recommendations to do it. Regarding the costs, you can see that there's the AI recommendations expense. That's actually not that expensive for that part, but the training and the nodes that we get from there, which is how the data is understood and applied to our form, is where most of the cost is. Additionally, we have partner acquisition team expense. So that's we're gonna have a team of people focused on getting the partners, just because we need to find partners who are not only sustainable, ethical, but have potential to become circular in the future, which is something that's also important to us. And then additionally, we have the website implementation costs and then maintenance expense for the MyEquip overall. So we just use a 20% of the total implementation cost from the beginning as a yearly cost and continue growing it according to revenue.
Perfect, thanks.
Thank you.
Same slide. How does Emma plan to pay for $3 million in capital expenditures?
Yeah, so we were planning, one of our plans for this was first to get a loan. So we do have interest expense somewhere in another slide. Additionally, we are also planning to maybe take capital from the partners themselves, just because they do have a large stake in this project. So we were thinking maybe we can get a loan from them, or potentially they get equity, but we haven't really figured out that process fully.
Okay, well, I think we'll get into feedback. I know the folks in the room who've gone before you probably think I'm a jerk for my questions and comments. But I do want to say that it's for everyone's benefit. I think everybody did a fantastic job, but you guys did a really, really good job. Very impressive. From the beginning, from the way that you presented to the information, to hitting the points, it was excellent. I'm a commercial lender. I work at a startup bank, and we do underwriting, and I manage the underwriting team. And I have to say that your guys' credit memo, I would love to incorporate that into our bank. And we bank companies that do 30 million revenue. So if you ever need a job, let me know. I think that you guys did an excellent job. Were you the group that went to the beach yesterday? No, I didn't think so. But it just was really well put together. And from the way that you guys spoke and how you felt comfortable on the stage, all four of you presenters did an excellent job. And I just thought that the presentation was clear. We asked questions, specific questions, rather than questions about strategy. And you guys were able to hit those questions very detailed. Going back to the financial slide, I asked about how you're going to finance this. It's a little aggressive to think that somebody can get $33 million. Now, going back to your point of the shareholders actually pulling out distributions or liquidating their capital, or liquidating their assets or using their own capital to fund it, that's a great answer, because that's a pretty aggressive ask. Now, the equity markets are going to be a little bit more likely to put up money like that, but with a presentation that's backed like that, the chances of that happening are very high. That's my feedback. Thank you. Did a great job.
I concur. You are ready to you captured the competitive landscape with that graph was great, as well as the pestle and even the SWOT analysis that you presented, and then you came in your presentation and you presented everything, even with your three-pronged strategies, and you had the financials, you had the graphs to to answer our questions. I had 3 other questions that you answered with one answer. You knocked out like 4 questions, and so great job, great working as a team. I think you covered everything from A to Z, and with a strategy on, not only on the case but also on the sustainability, out of the box thinking. Great job, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.